Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. So I am very happy today because this card finally arrived. So this is an R9 280X that I bought for 35 euros off of eBay Kleinanzeigen. The price is kinda high for usual things, but in the current GPU shortage market, I think 35, like including shipping, is not all that bad for a dead card. And this card was described as no video. So basically you can turn it on, but you don't get a video signal from it. So I was assuming, I'm just gonna hope that it's a dead minor rail that I just need to fix. And if it's not, I might just e-power something. So I was like, yeah, there's a pretty good chance I can get this working. As it turns out, no such thing was necessary, because this card is completely fine. It works. There's nothing wrong with it. It runs benchmarks. It overclocks. Like, yeah, this card is working fine. So yeah, I am really happy I went with this one, because there was this 280X, and then there was also a Windforce 280 that had the same issue for the same price. I ultimately went with this one because it's red. Like, yeah, it's red. That's why I went with it. I like that color. I mean, black PCBs are like nice and stuff, but like blue and red and green PCBs, you don't see them a lot, and I think that makes them a nice thing to have, especially the red ones. Like, I really like the red ones. So yeah, that's the reason I went with this, because it's red. And yeah, so I ended up receiving a card that's completely fine from what I can tell. I didn't try pushing the core yet, so it might like be a really bad overclocker, but well, I mean, the memory on this is already pretty good. Like, this is running some 2 gigabit AFR, which is the same memory chip I got on my 7970 Matrix, which means this is probably going to be able to run 1250 mem timings, which basically means this is gonna be really good for like GPU score just from memory. So yeah, even if the core isn't that great on this, I think the memory is already pretty good. And yeah, so as to what PCB this is just a reference PCB. You can really see the referenceness of it when you compare it to my HD 7950. Because like, yeah, the names are completely different between these two cards, but they are essentially the same. Well, this is essentially a rebranded 7970, which is the big brother of the 7950. But you can see the PCB is very similar, except that this one has a 6-phase V-core, this has a 7-phase. But apart from that, pretty much everything is identical. Okay, the I/O is also slightly different here. But yeah, like the output filter, just like also the back, it like, yeah. Okay, you can't really see it on the 7950 because that's insulated, but like where the PEX rail is and things. Yeah, this is a reference PCB. The MOSFETs on this one I don't think are that great. There are some on semiconductor ones. The 7950 here came with really, really good MOSFETs. And I actually upgraded that VRM because it only came with one low side per phase, and I added another one. This one does come with all the MOSFETs populated, and it has an extra phase. So I don't think it will be, like, I think the MOSFETs are weaker than what I have on the 7950. But, like, it has one extra phase, and like it also comes with a heatsink for the VRM that should be more capable than just this what I thermo taped onto here. So I don't think it would be really an issue. I just hope the core this is decent. Like okay, AC quality on AMD I've been told doesn't matter at all. This one is like pretty much average, like better than 50% of 280Xs. This one has a really high essay quality, I think, and this also does really well, but I think that's more due to this being like an OG 7950, like the very early ones. Because for for Tahiti cores, which like these are Tahiti cores, the earlier ones are better. Basically because the 280 and 280X are like the newest iteration of this core. These cores pretty much are not gonna be that great, but they do come with this memory. I think you can't get that on OG 7970s and 7950s. And they also have a separate ranking on HWBot, so it's not gonna hold me back that there's better cores out there, because I think all 280Xs do come with the new cores. Yeah, I might have to delete this one. I'm pretty much gonna delete this one. I just made a video that you should always delete them. This one is not one of the lowered cores, because like it's one of the newer ones, and the newer ones tend to be not lowered. So technically, this should fit a heatsink, like custom heatsink, without removing the shim. But so far, I've seen on 2 cards using the not lowered die, you still get better contact if you remove the shim, even when it looks like it's just like basically just as high. And I just noticed that it's actually the camera's just filming in this format, not in this. Oh, that's gonna be funny in post-processing. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to pushing this. This also has dual BIOS, like it has the dual BIOS switch. My 7950 came without it. So I can actually just like, this would be really convenient for like testing what modded memory timings do. And also, this being a reference PCB, it has the hookup point for the I2C interface right here. Sadly, this one has the ports like already filled in with solder, which like focus is like really annoying to attach things to. Well, it's gonna be fine, I hope. So, yeah. I'm really happy that this just works. I was planning to do like a troubleshooting video with this, where we like go around the card with the multimeter and like try to stab things and figure out what's wrong with it, but like I was just like, when I took it out of the box, I was like, oh, this is really clean, like looks in really good condition. I do trust my power supply that if this has a short circuit somewhere, it's gonna save it. So I just turned it on, and well, then I saw the Windows login screen and I was like, oh, well, seemingly the guy who sold me this card had a different problem, and it wasn't the graphics card. So yeah, I got it working 280X. This is not the first time I've bought a dead card that ended up very alive. I bought a GTX 480 once that was described as artifacts, and that was completely fine in the end. So yeah, I also bought a 460 that was described as dead. That one actually had a problem because someone placed some heatsinks on the memory and it made the cooler not have contact with the die. And yeah, like, yeah, basically that. So I hope I will have a lot of fun with this. I might get this pretty high in the 280X ranking, because like this has, if this memory is as good as on my Matrix, it's gonna be really great. My Matrix has a pretty meh-ish core, so this is probably gonna be the same or better, hopefully. I don't think I'll be taking down #1 score, because Salty just took that and he has a he has a 5900X. I have an 8700K. He has quite literally twice the cores and faster cores individually. And he's running some B-die memory. I have CJR, so I can't beat his CPU, so he's gonna be like 400, 500 points ahead just because of his CPU. But I might take down #2 with this card, if I mod memory timings and get the core high enough. This also shouldn't have voltage limitations like the 7950. Like, one problem that this card has, is it has voltage limits. Like even over I2C, you cannot set over 1.38 volts core and not over 1.7 volts memory. Which is a bit annoying. This one shouldn't have those limitations, because I've heard that this voltage limit is specifically on 7950s, and my 7970 Matrix, which has essentially the same controller, did not have those limits. So, probably gonna be fine. So yeah, got a new addition to my collection. And it is very aesthetically pleasing. Like, I like this. I like how this looks. I really like how this looks. And if it overclocks well as well, this might become one of my most favorite cards. I know I've said that about a GTX 770 lately, and that card ended up dead. Because, well, I killed that card. Like, I killed that card with my stability, because, like, basically how that card died is I was volt modding the core, and I wired my volt mod from feedback to 12 volts instead of feedback to ground. That blew up the controller. The card still worked after that. I powered it up on an e-power after that. But stupid me thought I can repair that card. So I bought a replacement controller, tried to solder it on, failed miserably, popcorned the PCB while doing it, and now the card is like permanently shot and dead and like not coming back. I tried powering it up on e-power, like e-powered every single ray on it. It's dead. It's not coming back. So yeah, I hope I'm not gonna kill this one. I really don't want to kill this one. I like this card. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the video. This is a shorter one. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, goodbye.